actually launching with a smaller amount of states than we normally do, but approvals have been coming in, and there's a little bit of a lag time between when we get approvals and having our IT department pop the information available on our e-platform. So we expect to see more and more states coming on in a rapid fashion. We usually send an email blast out to the field letting them know when a new state's available with any of our plans. So just look for that going forward, and we hope to have a really nice state representation for our new plan. A little bit of the agenda today, just a little bit about Guarantee Trust. Go over just the need for short-term home health care, show you the new product and its features and benefits, and a little bit of processing information. So I know you guys are very familiar with the product that's already out there, been out there for a while, so it's probably not a big, long need for me to go over the need for short-term home health care, but we'll get through it today in short order, and hopefully you'll really like the plan. This is Guarantee Trust. We're located in Glenview, Illinois. Just the short information for us today for agents who may not be familiar with GTL. We're in Glenview. We were founded in 1936. Don't let the name Guarantee Trust Life Insurance fool you. We actually have life and health products. Today, this is a health chassis product. If you're sitting around with the client at the kitchen table and you need to familiarize them with GTL, I would just recommend mentioning we've been around for over 80 years taking care of our policyholders. AM Best rating of B++, which is in the top tier of the rating system, zero debt on our balance sheets, money in the bank to pay their claims. Those are some things that I think will easily get them comfortable with the idea of applying for coverage through GTL. Now, if you're not familiar with GTL and what we specialize in, a product like today, a product like a hospital indemnity plan, all these types of plans that are there to supplement their existing main primary coverage, that's the type of coverages that we put out, and those are the ones that we're really good at doing. So this new short-term home health care plan, we thought it would be a great idea because most Americans prefer to recuperate at home. As you're used to with the GTL plans, we pay those benefits directly to the policyholder regardless of their other insurance. Whether, anything else that they have, doesn't matter. This plan pays them separately based upon the benefits they have with GTL. So they can use those benefits however they like. And I'm sure most people are going to use it to cover those deductibles or out-of-pocket expenses that they have when they have these types of health events. Nice thing about this short-term home health care plan, you do not need a prior hospital stay for the coverage to start kicking in. And besides a really nice 3-component base plan, which I'll go over with you in just a few seconds, we've got a lot of other additional coverages that are available as riders that you can add on to the base plan and really help complete the client's coverage. We know that Medicare covers certain things, and we know that it doesn't cover some things. So we want to make sure that when we start talking to clients about the GTL short-term home health care insurance plan, we've got something that can really help them take care of certain things. Like even the last one on the checklist there, I know you're kind of reading through them as I'm talking. Personal home health care aids like for bathing, dressing, using the bathroom. These are there's some holes in the Medicare coverage where this plan can really help out. So what we're trying to accomplish, come out with a great short-term home health care plan, offer some nice benefits and riders that can be added on. We already know that GTL processes business very quickly. We're also including our Ask Mayo Clinic benefits. If you're not aware of those, you're going to love those. And at the end of the day, we think this is going to be a great win for everybody involved. So why don't we start talking about the base plan? Myself, I like to talk to about it in terms of components. The base plan is made up of 3 different components, and from the get-go, who can get it? People in the issue age range from 40 to 85. Now, the base plan itself, this is unisex rates. Let's start just looking quickly at the 3 components that make up the base plan. You'll see that there's home health care benefits, home health care aid benefits, and a prescription drug benefit. These all come with the base plan. Now you'll see that it says Plan A, Plan B, Plan C for each of those. Keep in mind that when you're selecting coverage, you are selecting just one, Plan A or Plan B or Plan C. You couldn't take Plan A for home health care benefits and then grab Plan C for the prescription drug. Whatever plan you select, you would get that corresponding plan for each of the components. So let's just take a look at them by component, and then it's a lot easier to explain how the product works. The first one is for home health care. You'll see there's 9 different types of treatments that there are benefits payable for. Now, before we get into the benefits you can get and how you can max these out, it's important to know what makes this kick in. 2 things would have to happen in order for these benefits to start kicking in. You're either being certified by a licensed healthcare practitioner that you have a cognitive impairment, or that you have a functional impairment, which for this plan, we're saying is the inability to do at least 2 of the 6 ADLs without substantial assistance. In terms of the benefit period for this, let's take a look at this. It is for 360 benefit days. Now, here's something that's great to know. We're not talking about a 360-day benefit period. We're talking about paying benefits 360 times. Now, the base plan does not, it's not something that once you use it up, you can't use it again. It actually will restore after not needing it or not being required to have it for 180 consecutive days. So when we start looking at the benefits, if you choose Plan A, for example, you can get $150 per day for a combination of any of those 9 benefits. So if you used it for 360 benefit, you have a maximum benefit on that Plan A of $54,000 for just this component of the base plan. $300 per day could be the combination of any of those benefits you see under Plan B. $108,000 is your maximum benefit for that first benefit period of 360 days. Plan C, $450. You're kind of getting, I'm sure you're going along with the program here, and you're seeing that any of those benefits can add up to $450 in combination. $162,000 of maximum benefits. So that is component A of the base plan. Let's take a look and see how this would work in terms of a claim example. So if we had a 65-year-old selecting Plan A, so she'd get up to $150 per day in benefits. And after policy issue, somewhere down the road, she suffers a stroke, and over a 10-day period, she received 10 speech pathology treatments and 10 physical therapy treatments. And let's just say that she had 1 of each of those per day for the next 10 days. So her benefits would be $75 for each one of those days for the speech pathology, so $750. Same thing for the physical therapy. So she's got $1,500 of benefits that have accrued over that 10-day period. Her annual premium, 65-year-old choosing Plan A, is $294.45. Now, just to keep it easy, I kept that in just annual premium mode. But you can see right from the get-go, this person had a stroke, had 10 days of benefits that we paid for at the max benefit. She's already taken care of her annual premium, and she's really far to the good and really happy she's had this plan. And we haven't even gotten into Plan B of the component or Plan C, the component of the base plan. So let's do that. The home health care aid benefits, this is what I consider to be, the second component of the plan. You can do Plan A for $40 per day, Plan B for $80 per day, or Plan C for $120 per day. Now, we have the same type of things happening here as we do with the first one, where what makes it kick in is the need, because you have a cognitive impairment or functional impairment. Can't do those 2 ADLs out of the 6. Nice thing here, no hospital stay required. The benefit period for this would be 60 days of payments for these plans. And this one also does restore. We're talking about a restoration that needs 2 things, however. We need to have 180 days consecutively where you're not needing this claim, you're not needing this type of care. So it's probably easy to just read this right through. You need 180 consecutive days of not being paid for this or not requiring it, and you have to have a licensed health practitioner certify you've sufficiently recovered enough to no longer have this functional or cognitive impairment and been advised that you no longer require that type of care. So it does have a restoration, and as I was talking, you could see what was popping in on the top part of the screen. Plan A, up to $2,400 per benefit period. Plan B, $4,800. Plan C, up to $7,200 per benefit period. So now we've taken care of two of the components. Third component is the prescription drug benefit. Now that's a $10 benefit for the generic prescription, $25 benefit for the brand name prescription. And you can see Plan A gets you $300, Plan B and C are the same maximum per year of $600 per year. Now, something that's nice with this plan is this prescription drug benefit, that's not subject to any pre-existing condition limitations on this policy, and it's payable without regard to eligibility for the covered home health care services. So what in the world does that mean? It's simple. You don't have to have that situation where you have a cognitive impairment or inability to do 2 ADLs for this component of the plan to kick in. If you have this plan, you start getting generic prescriptions, brand name prescriptions, you can start using the benefits of this plan. Let's take a look at a claim example here. We'll stick with that 65-year-old, keep it simple with that Plan A. So over the 12-month period, first 12-month period of her policy, she had 5 brand name prescriptions filled and 10 generic prescriptions filled. So we're looking at the brand name at $25 each and the generic at $10 each. So she has total benefits paid of $225 over the first 12 months of her policy. We're still sticking with that annual premium we quoted to begin with, so $294.45. If we take away the benefits she got from GTL for those prescriptions, she's looking at a net cost for her policy for that 12-month period of $69.45. And if I just take that number and divide it by 12, we're looking at $5.79 per month for all of that coverage we've talked about so far. Home health care aid, and the prescription drug benefit. So that's really the base component, A, B, and C. So these are some additional coverages that you can add. Now, if you're familiar with our hospital indemnity plan, you'll start seeing that this does tend to look quite a bit like our hospital indemnity plan you may be familiar with. But let me point out right away where it is a little bit different. Our hospital indemnity rider on the short-term home health care plan, it is based upon attained age. So premium rates for the hospital indemnity rider, they will increase as the policyholder ages into the next age band. If you are selling our standalone hospital indemnity plan, that one is not attained age. So this one is a little bit different. But what you would be familiar with is the benefit periods for 3 days or 6 days, the fact that they restore an unlimited amount of times after 60 days of no hospital confinement, and you have a choice of $100 per day, $200 per day, or up to $300 per day when you do have those hospitalizations. Probably important for me to give you a quick example of how somebody may use these and how they restore. So let's just say that you came to my house and you sold me on this plan and you said, let's grab that hospital indemnity rider with a 6-day benefit period. So I could go into the hospital for 3 days. So I've used 3 of my 6 days of my benefit period. And then when I come home, if I don't go to the hospital for the next 60 days, when I wake up on the 61st morning, I have a brand new 6-day benefit period to work with for anything in the future. A little bit different idea. I have a 6-day benefit period. I go into the hospital for 2 days, come home, but before the 60 days are up and the thing restores, I go back into the hospital. Well, that's no big deal because I only used 2 of my 6-day benefit periods, so I still have 4 days left that I can still use. And then once I'm home for 60 days, I get a brand new benefit period to work with for hospitalization stays in the future. So there's an ambulance rider on this plan, very valuable to have, very inexpensive, which I'll show you in a little bit, but very usable. And it's really built for use. If you use an ambulance, you get $200. The benefit's payable up to 4 times per calendar year. And when I talk about it being built for use, what I mean by that is if you take an ambulance, you get $200, even if you're not admitted. That's a key feature of our ambulance rider and one that we carry forward from our other plans onto this one. Now you can get a lifetime benefit of up to $2,500 over the life of the policy. If you do max that out, we will remove the rider and your premium will actually go down. There's a critical accident rider, and this is basically if you have an unfortunate accident where you fracture your hip or your skull, hip dislocation, knee issues that you see on your screen, and there's some other fracture types that are involved. So if we are working in the senior market, we know that these are things that we happen to see with some frequency. So that's what the critical accident rider is built. You also see that we have an accidental death benefit, and your coverage is really a $5,000 or $10,000 choice. So I'm sure you've read it on the screen now, but after an emergency room visit for one of these types of situations, you have that benefit coming to you. Little thing I want to point out to you here, you'll notice that in the orange box on the bottom, it says premium rates for these 2 riders are based upon issue age. Premiums do not increase as the policyholder ages. So the base plan itself, all 3 components, the hospital indemnity plan, those are attained age. Some of the riders, as I'll point out to you as we go, they are based upon issue age. So policyholders can expect that their premiums for these riders will stay steady as they age. Dental vision rider, no network. So any dentist, any eye doctor, you can use this rider for. That's the first thing I'll point out about it. So no network. Now from there, let me describe it as the longer you have the rider, the more you can use it for. And the first calendar year that you have the plan, you get 80% of actual charges up to half of the benefit amount that you chose. So if you're choosing a $400 benefit in the first calendar year, the most you could get was $200. But keep in mind we do have actual charges here. So just kind of keep in mind that we are not paying reasonable and customary, we're paying actual. When you're in that second calendar year, you start getting 80% of actual charges up to the benefit amount that you chose, the $400, the $800, or the $1,200. So here's a fun example to explain how this calendar year works. Let's just say you purchased this rider on November 1st. So you would be, anything that you turned in from then that you could actually get benefits for, you're going to get 80% of actual charges up to 50% of that benefit level. But now we are 2 months later, it's January 1st of a new year. It's a new calendar year. So now you're right at that 80% of actual charges up to 100% of the benefit level. Depending upon the time that you purchased it during the year, you could be right into a brand new calendar year and up to that 80% of charges up to 100% of the daily benefit level. So when's the first time you can really use this? 3 months after purchasing the rider. You can use it for preventative care. Dentist, eye exams, no deductible is applicable to the preventative care services. You'll notice that there was a $100 deductible listed for those first calendar year, second calendar year, and thereafter. But when it comes to this preventative care, there's not that $100 deductible that needs to be met before we can start sending you the $75 for dental or $50 for eye exam. So the dental vision rider, when can we use it after that? Well, after 6 months, then we really start being able to use this for fillings, root canals. You get $200 of prescription eyewear or contacts benefits per year. And then after 12 months, you start using it for other things. You can use it for bridges, crowns, dentures. All of these things are now you're able to use it for. Important to note, though, if you're needing replacement or repair of those high-ticket items because of an injury, then that 12-month wait is not there. So let's take a look and see how this thing works out benefit-wise, premium-wise. So let's just say we have about $325 of annual wellness preventative care benefits. How'd I come up with that number? $75 in dental, $50 in eye, $200 preventative eyewear and contacts. So most people are going to the dentist. Most people are getting their eyes checked. Most people are getting contacts every year or even replacing their eyewear. So if we have a client who does that, goes to the doctor every year, gets your eyes checked and all that good stuff, let's take a look at how the premium works. And let's max it out. Let's see what happens. 65-year-old with the highest $1,200 annual benefit level selected. So what's their premium? $443 annual premium for the dental vision coverage. Now, if they go to the eye doctor, if they go to the dentist, if they use up their $200 prescription eyewear or contact benefit, that's $325 that they got from GTL. Their net cost for that year, $118, less than $10 a month. Okay, so this is a great feature of the short-term home health care plan. No other carrier has this. Really excited to tell you about it. So where do we go when we find out we have something, or we need to find out what a surgery is or what a medication may do to us? That's where we go. We go to Google. Sometimes we go to these other sites where we can put in our symptoms and it'll try to drill down to give you an idea of what you have. Anyone who's done this has probably had the same experience that I have. Tends to lead you down something that may be a lot more serious than what you actually have. Kind of just scares the heck out of you. So would you rather do that, or would you rather be able to go to the Mayo Clinic and talk to one of their experts on their Ask Mayo Clinic line or online services? So GTL has an agreement with Ask Mayo Clinic, and that allows any of our policyholders with this short-term home health care plan to talk to the experts at Ask Mayo Clinic when they have anything that they want to know about. So what the experience has been is that about 42% of the people were actually guided to a lower, more appropriate level of care, and it's just worked out great. So let me show you how it works. There's really three components to it. The first one is if you don't feel well for any reason, maybe you've got just the common cold or the flu, or you twisted your ankle, you need to know what you can do, what's the best thing, you just pick up the phone, call the Ask Mayo Clinic nurse line, and you can talk to their experienced staff about your condition, medication, anything that you need to know about, they can help you with. Now, if you don't like picking up the phone and you want to use an online service that kind of will help you drill down with your symptoms, see what you may have, see if it's something really serious, the Ask Mayo Clinic online, it's unbelievable. It asks very detailed questions so that you're not getting that, oh my gosh, you ended up just having the flu, but this website told you that you may just be dying. So this is a really nice, detailed drill down that gets you down to what you may have, and then also gives you an 800 number to call and also an ID to give the people that you talk to at the Ask Mayo Clinic so they can see what you put in the system already. So this is kind of nice because you have the ability to use it anytime. Why we really started talking to Ask Mayo Clinic was about the third component, the critical illness support. So now if you were unfortunately diagnosed with a serious critical illness, now you not only have your doctor, but you have the experts at Mayo Clinic behind there to help and assist. They can do anything from explain what you've been diagnosed with, ask any type, they can talk to you about any types of treatments that are available, ask you what medication you're on or treatments your doctor has given you, even into dosages, and give recommendations if that may be too high or too low of a dose. If you're looking for a second opinion, they can help guide you, and they can also let you know if there's some clinical trials or experimental treatments that may be available for the critical illness that you're suffering with. So imagine just having this Ask Mayo Clinic access for anything, but to have it just for critical illnesses, that really just on its own is great. So let's take a look at some rates. Now, we are looking at the rate for the base plan with all three components in it. And I'm going to just direct your attention to the bottom again. These are attained age. So once you see somebody, let's say a 65-year-old, they apply for option A, that's plan A, $150 daily. We're looking at $22.87 per month for them. Now, when they reach age 71, it's going to kick up to $31.18 a month. So you can see how the attained age works. It's not that it goes up every year, but every once in a while, every 5 years or so, it is going to increase. Now, when we're adding the hospital indemnity rider, that's the $100, $200, or $300 daily benefit if you're in the hospital. That 3-day or 6-day benefit period, that's available. It's also attained age. So now we're looking at a 65-year-old, 6-day benefit period, $8.12 per month. Again, attained age, so it will increase as they get older. Critical accident rider. Here we are with the rider that is in female and male rates, whereas the other base plan and the HIP rider was unisex. So you can see very inexpensive to add $5,000 or $10,000 coverage on there for that critical accident. Remember, that was the fractured hip, fractured skull. And a dental and vision rider, again, based upon issue age, so it doesn't increase as they get older. You can see it's male or female rates. In the ambulance, remember we talked about that rider a little earlier, $200 whether or not you're admitted. You just use the ambulance. Look at how affordable those rates are on the top right of your screen. $3.08 a month for a 60 to 69-year-old. And if they use an ambulance once, they get $200. So real easy to get your money back with regard to that and really lower the out-of-pocket cost of the whole policy just by using that benefit alone. So the application, just like you're used to at GTL, very short, simple to use. You can put 2 people on it. They can each have their own set of coverage options. They're each going to get their own policy. Once you get their contact information in there, you're just going through step 1, checking how they'd like to pay, which benefit they're choosing, A, B, or C, and then checking the box for any riders that they'd like to add. Now, don't squint your eyes and try to read those pre-qualification questions, because I'm going to bring those up on the next slide, and we can take a good look at them and see who needs to answer what. Let's do that now. So these are the underwriting questions. And the key thing, if you're just choosing Plan A or Plan B, you only have to answer the first 2 questions. Question 1, is the applicant currently in a nursing home, assisted living facility, or receiving home health care or similar type of benefits? If we have a no, we can keep going. If it's a yes, we wouldn't want to turn in the app to GTL. Second question, is the applicant unable to perform routine activities of daily living? Simple. Answer no, good to go. You've got Plan A and Plan B ready to issue if they answer no to those first 2 questions. Now, if you're going to add Plan C, or Option C as it says here on the app, you're going to want to answer the 3rd question too. So, in the next 60 days, does the applicant expect to be admitted to the hospital, nursing home, assisted living facility, or require home health care services, or have surgery? So there you go. If you're going to max out the coverage on the base plans, you're going to answer all 3. Now the pre-X, very simple to understand. It's a 6-month pre-X, and basically it's the way I love to explain it is this. If you came to my house today and you talked to me about this plan and I bought it, you sent in an application that was issued that day, anything I was diagnosed with in the prior 6 months of the policy, that's the pre-X. So that's not going to be covered until after the policy is over 6 months old. So the claims are a little bit different here because you still have a really nice short claim form to fill out that you're used to, but depending upon what type of benefits you're going to ask GTL to send you a check for, your frequency of submitting that claim may be a little bit different. For example, if you're getting home health care or home health care aid benefits, most likely you'll want to submit those on a monthly basis to GTL. We are not requiring that, but it just kind of makes sense to kind of keep everything straight and going forward and easy to track. Now, the first time through, you're going to complete the claim form. You're going to include the plan of care from a licensed physician and the proof of service. Now, that's the first time through. Now, if month 2, you're going to turn in some more bills for the same type of coverage that you turned in the first time, we do not need a claim form filled out again. So just send the bills in monthly, and we got that thing covered. Now, the prescription drug benefits, a little bit different animal. If you're getting prescriptions filled, weekly, you probably don't want to sit there and keep sending GTL claims or receipts weekly. We suggest annually for the prescription drug benefit, but again, it's just a suggestion. The key thing to remember for clients is you want to make sure that you send in the receipt that is usually stapled to the bag, the one that tells us what it is. A Visa receipt just saying how much they paid isn't going to help us know if it's generic or brand name. So that little picture that you see on the right from Jane Q. Public, that's what we would need to have come in. And we just kind of think that they should send it in annually, but again, it's just a suggestion. Now, those additional riders, you get the HIP rider, the ambulance rider, dental vision, anything like that, those are pretty much, you're going to turn those claims in, per event. If you have a hospitalization event, once you get home, turn that claim form in. So pretty standard. You're going to complete the claim form, send us in the proof of service, and we process it from there. The key thing with any claim from GTL is we do not want agents running around trying to get claims paid. So if they turn in the claim form to GTL, make sure they just fill out the claim form, sign the HIPAA form, and really from there we can help out quite a bit. So if your client is having a hard time understanding where they can get their bill, or they're at all intimidated by that claim process, don't worry. If they can get the claim form to us, sign the HIPAA form, that HIPAA form allows us to help them get what they need so we can get that claim paid for them. So it's really a fun product. I think it's very solid, and not only does it give you a great base plan with all different options to choose from, great amount of benefits, restoration, but then we have the ability to add some other types of coverages on there, like the hospital indemnity plan, the ambulance rider, and even though the hospital indemnity portion is based upon attained age where the premium would go up as they get older, you do have an opportunity here to get some people a hospital indemnity rider maybe that could not apply for a standalone hospital indemnity plan. So kind of keep that in mind too. At this point, we've got a situation where if you want to order supplies for those states that were approved, give GTL a call. Email GTL if you like. Questions on the plan, I could definitely help out now, or you can always email sales support or just give me a holler or give sales support a holler. So that's the new plan. We're definitely going to be adding more states as we go, but we'll just kind of open it up from here.
Well, Greg, thank you very much. And for the people that are listening on this webinar, I'd like to say a couple of things. And that is simply that working with GTL, we have been working with them for several years now and working with them on other products. And a couple of things that are needed to be noted. One, they're second to none with working with a carrier. They're easy to work with. They pay their claims really good and quick, and are easy to reach out and work with and deal with, which is not the case with all carriers out there. So keep that in mind when you're making a decision on working with a product and working with a carrier. GTL just does an exceptional job working with both their clients and their agents. It's just a refreshing thing to have in today's market. Not only that, as I'd mentioned in the beginning, we have been marketing a standalone with another carrier and have had a lot of success with that product. after you've seen this presentation that Greg has given, it is simply a better product. It does more, it has a lot more to it, and just that Mayo tool that you have with the Mayo Clinic is going to really get a good reception with clients. So keep that in mind along with the additional benefits. And one of the things that GTL is really known for is their hospital indemnity plan. That plan they sell amazing amounts of policies with in that Med Advantage market and other markets. To be able to have that on the portion of that on this plan and being able to maybe get it where you couldn't get it because of the questions on the hospital indemnity gives you a very strong tool. And along with that Med Advantage market, to be able to provide a hospital indemnity with a home health care benefit, with dental and vision benefits on it, it's a product that sits out there by itself. It really truly is a product for the future, and that, as we all know, with the changing markets in the insurance markets and with Obamacare and things like that, this product really fits in really well with filling the gaps on a bunch of different areas. With that being said, we are going to continue to market this product, and as Greg stated, they're going to have some more states approved. At that time, we'll be doing more webinars on this, so stay tuned and keep your eyes out for additional. And we'll continue to bring you products with this carrier because we enjoy working with them at that. If you have any questions, I'm having a little difficult with the phones. Please give us a call here at the office or send us an email, or as you see on Greg's screen, you can reach right out to the company directly or email them. So with that, thank you very much for attending. Greg, great job. Let's do another one in the near future.
Sounds good. And one thing I'll add to that, David, too, is that I did not mention is that right now we're currently all paper with this, but we expect early March to mid-March it will be on our e-platform too. So we'll be able to handle both paper and electronics in the very near future too. So hey, thanks everybody. Thanks, David. I really enjoy doing these for you guys, and as needed, we'll just keep doing them. Have fun selling the product, everyone.
Absolutely.
Thanks, David.
Thanks again. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.